Live from Odyssey headquarters.
High above the Schuylkill River.
All news
and all that matters to you.
KYW News Radio.
103.9 FM.
New surveillance video and a $40,000 reward in the shooting attack on a group of Roxborough High School football players. I'm Kristen Johansson.
Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida as a Category 4 monster storm this afternoon.
Child care centers were hit hard by the pandemic. Now they say they're facing significant staffing shortages. I'm Jim Melward in Norristown.
The Phillies try to crack the code on the Chicago Cubs at 7:40 out at Wrigley Field. The Flyers continue the preseason. They take on the Capitals at 7 o'clock. It's currently mostly clear and even 70 degrees, heading down to 53 tonight. Good Wednesday evening, Philadelphia. I'm Jay Scott Smith. Our top story at 6 p.m.
The gun violence crisis.
And we start the 6 o'clock hour with new surveillance video that shows 5 shooters ambushing a group of Roxborough High School football players yesterday, leaving a 14-year-old boy dead and 3 others injured. And there's now a $40,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in this case. We get the latest from KYW's crime and justice reporter, Kristen Johansson.
Philadelphia police say a light-colored Ford Explorer SUV sat for about 6 minutes outside the football field near Peach and Gate Streets when suddenly 5 suspects, possibly teens, jumped out and began firing at the group.
Following the initial barrage of gunfire, 4 of the 5 shooters are observed returning to the suspect SUV.
Homicide Captain Jason Smith says more than 6 bullets were fired.
A 5th shooter continues to pursue one of the shooting victims, shooting at him as both are running down Peachin Street. The victim is ultimately struck by one of the offender's bullets, and he collapses on the sidewalk. The shooter runs up to the victim as he lay helpless on the ground, stands over top of him, and continues firing.
Until the shooter runs out of bullets. That suspect then runs back to the car and it races off on Gate Street. Police believe a 6th person may have been driving the car and they don't yet have a clear motive. They say it was a targeted attack, but that Nicholas Elizalde, who was shot in the chest and killed, was not the target. Police say they need to get the group off the street and say they're all considered armed and dangerous. Kristen Johansson, KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
We'll have more on how students and staff over at Nicholas Elizalde's high school, Saul High School, are dealing with this killing coming up on KYW News Radio. But at 6:02, it is time for traffic and weather on the 2s. Let's get our first check of the roads in this 6 o'clock hour with Kyrie Moses in the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center.
All right, Jay, north on 95, traffic heavy from Cottman Avenue up to about a mile before Woodhaven Road. Yet again, all lanes are shut down with an accident. You have a tow truck in the process of pulling one of the vehicles off to the shoulder. And once they do that, we'll be back to that center lane squeezing by. But in the meantime, everything's shut down before Woodhaven. The rest of you, I think State Road is the better bet heading into Bucks County. South on 95, you're slowing down to look at that. Then you're jammed at Cottman. Get the sunglasses ready. You're almost being blinded by that heading through the construction zone. South of this, it's heavy from Ridley Park down to the 322 exit. There's a broken down car there. It was in the right lane. We'll have to see if they just cleared it. And then outbound Lincoln Drive remains backed up from Gypsy Lane out to Rittenhouse Street. There's a crash in the right lane. North on the Boulevard extension, we're just slow at Wissahickon. The Schuylkill Expressway slows both ways between the Blue Route and University, but no lanes shut down at this time on the Schuylkill. And then east on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, things are heavy from Mid-County out to Fort Washington. Westbound is cleared out nicely. In Montgomery Township, they have yet to reopen 202 Parkway between Horsham Road and County Line Road. It remains blocked because of an accident. The minute they reopen that, we'll pass it along to you. And then over in Feasterville, Street Road is still shut down both ways between Old Street Road and Philmont Avenue. A crash there. Just throw the whole area away. It's really jamming up out there. On the Northeast Extension, we're not seeing any major problems. On the Blue Route, things are just slow southbound near Broomall. In Chester County, Route 100 southbound jammed at 202. Let's see, area bridges not horrible. And then in New Jersey, you've got jam traffic north on the Jersey Turnpike, north of the Delaware Memorial Bridge. That's construction well before you get to 322. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement 24-hour Traffic Center for your home's window, siding, roofing, doors, and baths, trust PJ.com. I'm Kyrie Moses. And